Hey guys, welcome to another video. My name's Ian. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a wonderful day today, staying warm and healthy, and you're reading a good book and eating good food and having a great day. And thank you so much for stopping by this video. Today, I wanted to talk to you guys about some 5-star predictions that I have of books that I own. But the caveat here is all of these 5-star predictions are authors that I've never read before, and I just have a really, really good feeling about these authors. Am I right? Maybe. I don't know if all of them will be 5 stars, but I have really good feelings about these authors. Maybe it's the vibe, maybe it's who they've been compared to, whatever it is. I just have a really good feeling about these authors and these books in particular, and I wanted to talk to you guys about them, and I wanted to get your opinion. Do you think these are 5-star books? Do you think I'm going to love these books? Which of these should I prioritize? I'm really trying to read more books that I own in 2025. So far, it's been like kind of hit or miss. I think I've read 14 books so far this year, and 6 of them have been ones I own, which isn't great, but it's better than I've done in the past. So that's the plan for this video. I'm going to tell you guys some books that I think could be 5 stars that are authors I've never read before, and you need to tell me if you think I'll enjoy them or not. Please and thank you. That's the video. Let's go ahead and jump in. So first up, we have an author who I have been recommended a lot, and that is Ted Chiang, and the book that I think I'm going to give 5 stars is Exhalation. This is a collection of short stories, sci-fi for the most part as far as I know. The book that I really want to read by him is Stories of Your Life, but this is the one that I have. So it's going on the list. But I have a really good feeling about this in general. I love Ken Liu's writing, and I've heard the two be compared before, and I love Ken Liu's short stories, and hopefully I'll enjoy Ted Chiang's as well. If you've read both authors, let me know whose short stories you enjoy more. That way I can kind of prepare myself, but I've heard really, really good things about this author's writing and about his short stories, and so I'm very, very excited to get to this, hopefully soon. I've been very slowly working my way through a short story collection, Where I'm Calling From by Raymond Carver. It's quite long, and I've just been enjoying taking my time with it. But once I'm done with that, I have like a whole shelf of short story collections up there that I want to work my way through. So maybe that'll be the one that I pick up next. We'll see. Next up is a book called The Prince of Tides by Pat Conroy. And really, the only reason I feel that I will love this book so much is because it's been compared to one of my favorite books of all time. I Know This Much Is True by Wally Lamb. It's my 3rd favorite book of all time, and I've heard that this is comparable to that in a lot of ways. People who love that book often enjoy this one. And so I really want to try this and see what I think. Like I said, I Know This Much Is True is my 3rd favorite book of all time. I don't necessarily anticipate loving this one as much, but if it can be a 5 stars, then I will be happy. So very much want to get to The Prince of Tides. I'll get to it one day. I've heard not a whole lot about Pat Conroy in general, but this book in particular is quite popular, at least as far as I know. So I don't know a whole lot about it other than it's about siblings, and one of them really falls on hard times, and the other one kind of has to come alongside them and try to lift them up. I don't know if that sibling dies or what happens. Really know very little about it, but I've just heard very good things, and yeah, hopefully it doesn't let me down. Next up is Pachinko by Min Jin Lee. So this is a book that so many people, I feel like, just absolutely love Pachinko. I have heard a few people say it's not their favorite, but for the most part, it's been overwhelmingly positive feedback on this book. It's multi-generational, about a family that I think they are immigrating. I could be completely wrong there, but I thought that that's what this is about. It says, from the bustling street markets to the halls of Japan's finest universities to the pachinko parlors of the criminal underworld. So it goes to a lot of different places, follows a lot of different characters. I've heard it's very, very, very good. It was on the New York Times', or I can't remember what list that was, but the 100 best books of the 21st century so far. It was on that list, both on the critic side and the common man's side, the reader side. I don't know how to say that, but this is quite beloved across the board, so I have a pretty good feeling about it. I think this author's only written this one and Free Food for Millionaires. I've heard good things about both, though, but Pachinko's the one I own, so that's the one we're going with. Next up is one that I bought kind of on a whim, but it just seems like my kind of book, and I mentioned it in a video before. It's called Wolf at the Table by Adam Rapp, and I have not heard like any reviews for this book. The vibe of it and the story just called out to me. So this is literary fiction in which it follows a family where one of the people in the family is a serial killer, but it's not like a thriller as much as it is digging into the trauma of that and the family dynamics of there's this huge secret in the family. Some people know, some people don't, and how that tears this family apart. And that just sounds so riveting to me. I love a good serial killer story, like on the thriller side, but kind of taking this different approach of how does that impact a family when there is this person amongst their midst. I just think that's so fascinating. I am dying to read this book, and something about the story just calls to me. I think I'm going to love it. I'll actually be really disappointed if I don't end up loving this as much as I have a feeling I'm going to, but we will see. We will see. Next up is a book that I think I have owned longer than almost any book on my shelf. Not quite, but I've had it for a long time. That's The Amazing Adventures of Cavalier and Clay by Michael Chabon, some way. There's some way to say that name. I just don't know what it is. So this won the Pulitzer. And the reason I picked this up years ago was because I saw a review by the book chemist, whose review I'll link down below, and his thoughts on it just really compelled me to pick it up, and so I did, and it's just been sitting on my shelf. I have this in physical form. I have it on audiobook. I've even read the first couple chapters at least twice, and it just never felt like the right time. So this is one that I would love to get to, if for no other reason than I can finally have definitive opinions about it and or unhaul it if it's not for me. But I really do think I'm going to love this one. It's historical fiction about, I think they're cousins, and it's about them growing up together at the beginning, but they essentially create this comic book, and it kind of thrusts them into popularity, and it won the Pulitzer. I have a good feeling about it. I really do. Let me know if you love that book. I feel like I've been recommended it at least once or twice on this channel as well, so yeah, I have good feelings about it. Next up is James McBride, specifically the title The Heaven and Earth Grocery Store. So I've been really compelled to pick up this author's books. Deacon, King Kong before this book was quite popular as well, and then The Good Lord Bird. All three of those sound really compelling to me. This one has gotten a lot of buzz. I think it was the Barnes & Noble Book of the Year, not in 2024, but 2023. So that's something. But I've heard really, really positive things about this. I actually know very little about it, other than just the general praise for it and for James McBride in general. But he is an author that I have been itching to get to for years, and I really have a good feeling that I'm going to love his books, and I need to read this. So it's going to happen this year, hopefully, probably, maybe, hopefully. Yeah. Next up, I have an author who I really think I'm going to love. I've talked about him in numerous videos before, and I keep not reading his books. But the author is David Mitchell. I was torn between picking this one and picking Cloud Atlas. The reason I picked The Bone Clocks is just because I've already read part of this and I was loving it so much. I just put it down and didn't come back to it immediately, but it's not like a hard DNF. It's one that I'm definitely going to pick up. So I already have really good feelings about this book, and I just really think that his writing style is very fascinating. His storytelling choices and narrative choices are very unique, and so I really want to get to this. I'm looking at my desk right now, and I literally have like 3 or 4 of his books just literally on my desk. I see Black Swan Green, I see Utopia Avenue, I see Cloud Atlas, and then right here this. So I have 4 of his books. I gotta read them, but I have the most positive feelings about The Bone Clocks, followed by Cloud Atlas. But, oh, wait, hold on. And then over here is Slade House. I have 5 of this guy's books. Oh my goodness. I need to read his books very soon. Okay, next up is an author who, again, I haven't really heard too much about, other than I stumbled upon a review for this book when I was looking up books about small towns, and it really resonated with me, and it's one that I think I'm going to love, and that's Nobody's Fool by Richard Russo. And again, this is another Pulitzer Prize winning author. That he didn't win it for this book, he won it for his book Empire Falls, I believe. But yeah, this is just about a small town, about a man named Sully who is struggling in life. He's like kind of middle-aged. He's divorced. He has kind of a struggling relationship with his son or his father. His long-estranged son. So it's just about their relationship, about him trying to find himself in his middle age, and about this small town as well. I love books set in small towns. I really, really do. So I have high hopes for Nobody's Fool. Again, like I've only heard like a little bit about it, but there's just something about the book that I really think I'm going to enjoy. Next is an author who I will read this year. I have to. Again, another author that I own a bunch of books from, but I have such high hopes for this author. It's not just like authors like, this video isn't just intended for me to talk about authors that I have a bunch of books by that I haven't read, because I've made that video before. But these are specifically authors that I really think I will give their books 5 stars to. And this author is probably at the top of that list. The author is Guy Gavriel Kay. The book is The Lions of Al Rassan. The reason I picked this one, because I do have, again, I have this one. I've got Children of Earth and Sky, River of Stars, Under Heaven. And then I do have Tigana, and I've got A Song for Arbonne. And so I have so many of his books, because I've heard so many good things, like so many good things about his books, and he's been recommended so many times. And so I've just like impulse bought them when I find them for really cheap. I think I got a bunch of those at library sales and these on clearance. But anyway, back to the topic. The Lions of Al Rassan is the one that I feel like people really say is like his best. And so that's why I've got it at like the top of the list and on this video list, because I think this one will be the one. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll end up loving one of the other ones more, but this is the one that most people I feel like think is his best book. So yeah, I'd like to read it soon. I'd like to read multiple of his books soon, but what are you going to do? I'm not going to pressure myself. Next up is a horror author who I've heard very good things about. This book / duology in particular, really, really good things about. The book is Fever House. The author is Keith Rawson. And yeah, this just sounds wild. It's about a disembodied hand that starts killing people, I believe, which that alone is like the craziest premise. But I love this cover. I have a really good feeling about this book. And I've heard very, very good things from a lot of different people. So if I enjoyed this book, I'm going to definitely read everything this author writes, because I'm always looking for a good horror author with a bunch of books I can dig into. And he has like at least like 6 or 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He has 6. So yeah, definitely into that. Definitely into that book and that cover and all that jazz. And finally, coming to the last one. I don't know if we have 10 here. What do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8... 9, 10. Yeah, I think we have 10. Anyway, lastly, the 10th book, I believe, is an author whose books in general don't necessarily appeal to me, because I don't really know a whole lot of them other than this one in particular book. But this book, I have such a strong feeling I'm going to love, because I love horror so much. I feel like I'm gonna love this book. This cover's so disturbing. It's The Exorcist by William Peter Blatty. What an interesting name. Blatty. That's a terrible name. It's actually not that bad. It's just kind of funny to say Blatty, Blatty, Blatty. Anyway, this cover's creepy as heck, and obviously The Exorcist is an iconic movie as well as book, and I just have a really strong feeling that I'm going to love that book in particular. I haven't read his stuff. I don't know, but the acclaim behind it just gives me a good feeling. That's all I'll say. Okay, those are the books, just to kind of hold them up again if I even can. Oh my gosh, I am trying to grab too much at once. Yeah, so it's like all these books right here. Hold on, I can do this. Yeah, all these guys, I have a really good feeling about. I think they're all going to be 5 stars. I could be wrong. Let me know what you think. Thanks so much for watching. I know this video was kind of chaotic, but honestly, I just haven't been filming a lot lately, and I wanted to when I had time, and this was the first video idea that came to my mind, so I was like, yeah, let's just do this. And here we are. So thanks so much for watching. Let me know which of these you think I'm going to enjoy, if you've read any of them, or if you want to read any of them. Yeah, just hit me up in those comments, guys. Hit me up. So thanks so much. I hope you have a great day. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.